Hi all and welcome to Fallout Friday, my Let's Play of Fallout 3 that we're currently going through. Look, everything's the same, exactly where we left off. Well, you can probably tell that might not be the most truthful, considering it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I've uploaded, and the reason why it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I've uploaded is when I reset my computer. You know, a lot of games will have their save files in on the drive that they're set up on, but some games, set up on documents on the C drive, and the C drive is what I wiped. So I've had to play all the way through to get back to here. Now, it's never going to be perfect. I'm going to have different items. I didn't even really look up my perks, so I've just taken the ones I wanted to this way round. I believe these are mostly the same, but I might have changed a couple of things there. The other big thing as well is the intelligence bobblehead trick that I did at the beginning of this. I actually only did like at level 4, so we're going to miss out a couple of skill points, but that is fine. But here we are in Moresti Station, so let's find out what on earth's going on with the family. Apparently the person we need is up on this mezzanine. That's what we heard last time, but they don't seem to be about. No, not hiding behind there. I wonder how much this game cops from Metro having civilization set up in we're getting there. Train stations. Vance. Vance is the one we want, is it?
Welcome to our home.
Oh, they're all eating.
My people call me Vance. I lead this group of weary travelers and outcasts who need a home. And to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
This place is very different from the other settlements I've seen.
What you see before you is the last bastion of hope for the downtrodden and misunderstood. It is a sanctuary for the oppressed.
Is that a My Chemical
and a
Romance
beacon of faith for the tyrannized.
reference? I hope so. Allow Vance to continue.
Are the remnants of society, cast aside like the clean-picked bones of a hunter's feast. I led my flock beneath the sun-baked sands of the wasteland to keep them safe and teach them my ways. Men of science would call us cannibals, eaters of human flesh. Society labels us as monsters, demons, and the unclean.
Let's try the speech.
I am afraid that the knowledge required to appreciate our true nature is far above your level of comprehension.
Your ways. So you're reforming these people?
Ah, your words illustrate why the hardships persist for my people. Reforming implies something is wrong with them and needs to be eliminated. I think of my teachings as more of an improvement, a way to transcend our cannibalistic nature.
I really hate doing this during dinner time for these people. If I accept that you're no longer cannibals, what do I call you? It's weird, like the options in this game, so it's either accepting aggression or more aggression. If I accept you're no longer cannibals, what do I call you?
Your open-mindedness is very rare for a human. I find that fascinating. Allow me to bolster your insight with a lesson in objectivity. I say we are no longer cannibal, only consuming the blood of our prey. What would that make us in your eyes?
Vampires? I have no idea.
Then that is a mystery. In ceremony, each member of the family must speak one of the laws. It is theirs to remember and to enforce. Perhaps from these laws you can discover what we are. Return to me when you are ready.
I don't understand why it's more refined to only drink the blood instead of actually, you know, eat the body.
I'll be at my store later. Well, I haven't had a customer in a while. Last one I had was a bit chewy. Know what I mean?
Yes. Please help me understand your laws.
When Vance stands on that balcony and starts mouthing off like some kind of preacher, it makes me want to puke. But if I want to keep this place stocked, I gotta have his permission. So I learned his 5th law. Kill not our kindred. Slay only the enemy. This is our justice. Pretty silly if you ask me.
What do you have
Come
for
back
sale?
and see me when I'm minding.
What is this place?
This place is my place of business.
Okay.
Please.
Hi,
I
Justin.
thought I knew everyone in the family, but I don't recognize you. You must be one of Vance's new initiates. My name's Justin. I'm pretty new here myself.
Please help me understand your laws.
Well, Vance makes each of us remember a rule. And when we all gather in the common area, we have to say it out loud. Kinda weird. So, my law is the fourth one. Seek not the sun's light. Embrace only the shadows. This is our refuge.
This has a lot of trappings of a cult. Tell me more about the
It's a
family.
great way to get back at those assholes out there who think we're losers. If it wasn't for Vance, I'd still be getting the crap beat out of me by those guards in Rivet City.
I mean, if you've killed someone and ate someone, perhaps they shouldn't beat you up, but
I understand. Goodbye.
I understand how you kind of half get there.
Oh, hey there.
Hi,
I don't
Alan.
think I've met you yet. The name's Alan. What did you want?
Please help me understand your laws.
Oh, wait. Vance told me I was supposed to say something special when asked that. From his teachings. Oh, right. The third law is feed not for pleasure, partake only to nourish. This is our dignity. Whew, almost forgot it again. Yes.
I'm not going to hang around chatting
Hello,
to these
stranger.
people much more.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Holly, Vance's wife.
Hi, Holly. Please help me understand your laws.
Each of us is required to speak one of the laws when we hold our ceremonies. I say the first law. Feast not on the flesh, consume only the blood. This is our strength. It was good.
Brianna?
Well, I'm surprised you don't know me. I'm Brianna. I take care of the men around here. Well, unmarried ones anyway.
Does every society in this game, no matter how big or small, have to have a sex worker? I mean, if they want to do it, it's fine, but this feels like a cult, you know. And people feel pressured into certain roles, or have to accept teachings to exist in certain ways. I mean, that's kind of always what we have to be in, but when you have one, leader pushing down on it. Please help me understand your laws.
When we all gather in the common area, Vance gives his speeches, and then we each have a law to say. Mine is, bear not the child, welcome only the exile. This is our fate. Kinda cool, huh?
Okay. Is that everyone?
You wish to speak to me again?
I think I finally understand what you people are.
Indeed. Tell me what you've learned from the laws. What do you think we are?
You're vampires, or at least you follow their fictional traditions. I don't want to call them freaks. I'm just going to say
You think
that.
I believe I can turn into a bat and fly away? Of course not. Do I cast my image in a mirror? Absolutely. Now, ask me if I believe these individuals from every corner of the wasteland need me to give them a sense of purpose and identity. I have shown these people the ways of the vampire. I've provided them shelter, organization, and a sense of belonging.
What you're doing here is brainwashing them, plain and simple. So at least the game understands my point of view, because it's letting me say this.
Yes, in a way I am brainwashing them. I am eliminating their fears, their inhibitions, and their shame. I have reined in their cravings and taught them to eat not of the flesh, but to drink of the blood. Most importantly, they have a family, a place where their quirks are tolerated and understood.
I wonder if cannibalism is actually a craving, or if that's just something made up in the minds of people who write this sort of fiction. I've been searching for a young man named Ian West.
Ah, yes, my newest charge. What would you want with him?
I have a letter for him from his sister.
Then a part of his human family still remains? Even more of a reason he needs to remain in isolation. Ian is at a critical moment in his life right now. After all that occurred in Erafu, he is scared and confused. It would be ill-advised for me to allow you to speak to him while he decides what he wants to do.
Helping someone by putting them into isolation until they make a decision, especially when you're all heavily armed, tends not to be the way to find liberation for that person. Wait a minute, what happened to him?
Ian's hunger for flesh overwhelmed him. It drove him to kill his parents. Because of my intervention that night, he stopped just short of being lost forever to his cravings for flesh.
Are you telling me that Ian is a cannibal?
I am telling you, he will no longer be labeled as such. He has become one of us, a member of the family. The hunger that drives us must be kept in check. It is one of the most difficult things to teach. Ian lost control because no one was around to guide him. His own family was alien to him.
This letter is all Ian has left of his old life. Allow me to give it to him.
Your words impress me, human. Perhaps I misjudged you when we first met. If you wish to speak to Ian, you are free to do so. Here is the code to the area in which he is meditating.
So I find this interesting because, like, the thing that apocalyptic in games and that sort of do, and I think we mentioned this perhaps in our previous video, but is allowing the atomization of societies and groups of people so that they can be explored in unique ways. You see it in a lot of post-apocalyptia. It's not in all, but it seems to be a common thread throughout. So you see it in like Metro 2033. You know, each of the stations has a unique thing about them. They have a thing that can then be explored. And so does Fallout here. You know, we come here and we get to see a group of cannibals. So what the game, I think, is doing is sort of putting the cannibals and framing what is quite typically a fantasy setting thing into a post-apocalyptic thing. And I mean, there's no rules to say you can't do that, but it doesn't appear to have blended them particularly. It's just sort of put them against each other. And I like the way that the game allows me to turn and face these people and go, well, you're just being brainwashed. You're just being led into a cult. Because I think that is what's actually going on here. But I don't know if the game believes that fully. It just wants you to have that thought and then to either go, well, these people aren't worth considering, let's kill them all, or to go, well, let's try and breach a peace between these guys and Airfu. Which is a route I'm going to go down because killing them all is... I think it tells us less. It tells us less about what the game is and wants to be and what it's going to say. I don't think it's the right reason, but I'm interested in exploring this game and seeing what it wants to do. So, unlock security area door. And then this is Ian.
Huh?
Hi, Ian.
How'd you get in here?
Oh.
What do you want?
I've been looking for you.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I'm sure Evan King is pretty pissed right about now. I bet he has the entire town out looking for me. He's worse than my parents.
I'm sorry, Ian, but your parents are dead. What a nice way of breaking this to someone.
You think I don't know that? You think I don't know what I did?
I know what you did. Vance told me everything. You seem awfully troubled, Ian. What did you do? What do we want to say?
I killed them. My own parents. It was the fucking hunger. That thing that's haunted me my entire life. You must think I'm some sort of monster.
Maybe I can help you.
Help? How can you help? There's something inside me, something completely messed up. I'm a mutant, a fucking freak. The only person I was ever able to talk to was my sister Lucy, and she's gone. No one gives a shit about me except Vance and the family. Can't you understand that?
Just because you're out of place in society doesn't mean you should be co-opted into becoming a vampire. Probably not the best. I don't know if we want to change his mind. Like, what's going to bring him back to the society where he's killed his parents do? And they are trying to reform him here, but it's just using that power to reform into something that might not be beneficial. But I do want to give him the letter. See, this is the problem with this sort of game. You know, I want to give him this letter and go, well, just here you go. Here's a letter. I just want you to have this connection. But actually, it's like, no, here is a tool for me to change your mind. Let's do it, though.
She really misses being home, and she's asked about me and here a lot. I think I had it all wrong. I shouldn't have come here. I bet Lucy is feeling just as bad as me.
I feel like this
Please,
is the wrong choice.
tell Vance I've made my decision. I'm just gonna gather my stuff together and say my goodbye.
Okay. I feel like that was the wrong choice, but we'll see how it plays out. We might just turn into combat here. I don't necessarily feel like that was the right thing for him, but I don't also think leaving him here is the right thing for him. In fact, we need to save because this game has a crashing problem. Hello, Vance.
I trust your talk with young Ian went well. I am quite interested in learning the results of your discussion. Did he come to a decision?
How did you know Ian was trying to decide to stay or leave?
My fine friend, that poor soul has been wrestling with the same question every new member of the family asks himself when they arrive. Do I belong here or should I depart? All I ask is that they spend the time to reflect before deciding in solitude.
Before I talk about Ian, there's still the matter of airfuel I want to discuss.
As long as you maintain this level of civility, please proceed.
Yeah, so there's this like middle ground thing here. I mean, it's not actually a logistically a sensible idea to give them blood packs. I know it's going to satisfy their so-called needs, but like finding medical blood packs in a wasteland? In this economy? There must be an alternative source of blood you can survive on. I'd rather, like, say this.
Many years ago, I survived by drinking from fresh blood packs I recovered from hospital ruins. The problem with your idea is that these blood packs are scarce. What do you propose?
Airfo donates blood packs, and in exchange you protect them.
Agreed. Please take this proposal to Erafu. Speak to
Erafu,
them and
sorry.
then return to me with their decision. I thank you for showing me that your kind can be trusted after all. It is a lesson I will not forget. Now, what of young Ian? Tell me his decision.
Ian's decided to leave the family.
It saddens me to lose one of my flock, but I believe everyone has to follow their own path. All I was attempting to do was guide him. Now it seems that responsibility has fallen upon you. I hope you will be more successful. Please, I want you to take this. Consider it as an apology to you for all the hardships you had to endure finding this place. Goodbye, human. Our time together has been rather educational.
Oh, again.
They're trying to write him like he's a super intelligent, like, being, you know, like a typical vampire, but within this world, and it doesn't quite land for me, to be honest. Where's the shish kebab? He just gave me. Or was it just the schematics? Yeah. This quest doesn't quite land for me so far. I think the middle groundiness as a solution just, like, doesn't quite make sense. You know, it's almost like a protection racket, isn't it? It's like the mafia coming like, well, it would be a shame if someone came in the night and drank your blood. How about you donate it to us? And we've been complicit in that. But we've got Ian back, which again I'm not sure is the right decision. But it seems to be the one that's going to work for us. I don't know. It's actually something I quite like the idea of, is trying to put these sort of typically fantasy sort of beings within a realm of... I'm sure there's a quicker way than this. I bet Meresti Station can get this. But put them in the realm of apocalyptic fiction. And that's fun. But Oh, let's dodge out of the way. Big meat thing. But yeah, it doesn't quite land. I think the writing of Vance is a bit over-exaggerated. But this isn't a game of subtleties. Like, again and again. It's so weird how subtleties... Like, you don't pick up on that, or I don't pick up on that, without an education in life, without, like, having lived a bit. I remember when I played this game for the first time, and I think it's not that I saw it as being subtle, but I didn't see it as being as obvious as this. I do think it's like one aspect I do really like of Bethesda-style open worlds is when you get little moments like that happen in the open world. You know, it's when these routines are completed and you bump into them or you scrape against them. I do think it's one of the more interesting things that they end up doing to make a world feel alive. The actual philosophy of the family seems... It's one thing I noticed from that conversation is that there was the suggestion that potentially the issues that they're having with craving human flesh, if that's such a minor thing, could have been caused by radiation. So not a fault of theirs. I think that does change something, but it's not explicitly sort of stated. So you'll have to go off guts and other such ways of judging it. But I still think it generally leaves the whole section in a bit of an odd position. I see you there, landmine. Yeah, perhaps it's just me, but I associate that sort of preachiness not necessarily with the most honest thing, because I think rhetoric can get people whipped up and people can be convinced into things by charismatic people, and in general we should be cautious of that, or at least critical of what's going on. And I think the game doesn't do much to like push that point across. It's almost like, look at these misunderstood people, and I'd sympathise a lot more if it was due to radiation, but that's not like wholly confirmed. But the whole speech thing was effective.
There he is, the hero of the day.
Yeah, I took care of your problem.
I know. I talked to Ian, and he told me everything you did. I don't know how you did it, but goddamn am I glad you walked up that ramp and lent us a hand. Thanks again, kid. Consider yourself welcome back here anytime you're in this part of the wastes.
I have a proposal for you from Vance, the family leader.
Interesting. It seems they wish to enter into some kind of agreement. I guess it's better than pointing my gun down that ramp all day and hiding inside at night. Let Vance know he's got a deal. We'll do it. I'll speak to the others. I'm sure they'll agree with me.
Any help you can provide will be appreciated. I think that's just going to ask for money, which I don't really care about.
I may have some stuff for you.
All right. Is that quest considered done? Yes. So that's that finished. So that's the Washington Monument. Do we see our next location? I already know where we want to go. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, that didn't go too badly. What's this? I don't trust this.
Those raiders strapped me with explosives. You've got to help me.
Attempt to disarm. You fail. Oh no. This isn't going to be pretty. Nope. And then we're going to get attacked. So I remember this being something in this game that was considered quite good. Not this particular thing, that went badly. But sort of the random encounters that you get in the wasteland. It's like even something that they like capitalized on even further with New Vegas. There's a whole perk associated with it, which I think we have talked about before. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, we glancing shot. Oh, something big shooting us. Oh, this is not going to go well. But yeah, the like wild wasteland or something. Like you could choose whether to have the weird stuff happen to you, and it happens in like greater or lesser amounts. See how important stim packs are though. And also VATS, apparently. It's definitely one of those shooting games that has a foot in the RPG more than the shooting, maybe. There's a certain fantasy in this game, you know, the survivalist fantasy. One that games... Oh, it's this one. One that games seem to be obsessed with. But... And I understand why. Like, it's an easy framing device to try and... there's like a whole thing going on in here. So, let's try and activate it. Yeah. This is just Bethesda showing off, really. But yeah, the survival fantasy, and it's sort of, I think one of the ways it does achieve it, the fact that this all works is pretty cool. Oh no. Oh, that really went badly for us. I'm not even sure what they caused that, but I'm still funny to set it off to me. Yeah, there's something like going into the shop and picking up bits and bobs, but I'm already feeling like fairly powerful. And I think actually having a leveling system that's very RPG first, so, you know, these levels have a huge effect and change a lot about your character and what happens in the game and how it interacts with the world, I think actually undermines the survival fantasy to some degree, because it gets rid of some of the... or a larger amount, especially towards the end game, of the survival aspect. But the game still wants to... I'm not sure if you just heard that noise in the background, but that was my washing machine. It does that sometimes. Yeah, it undermines it to some degree. Hello. Oh, slave. So these are slavers. I was thinking about this, actually, when I was thinking about some of the slavery stuff in Morrowind. Like, I think every single one of Bethesda's games has a section that plays with slavery, at least. You know, there's the railroad in Fallout 4. There's, you know, institutionalized slavery in Morrowind. Sorry, I'm just chasing these guys down. You know, because we're the good character, of course. The slavers, the Paradise Falls in Fallout. Like, it's just a weird thing that seems to be in all of their games of sorts. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, it is something that an interesting story can be done with, but I'm not sure if they ever achieve an interesting story. I mean, one of the parts of the fantasy in this game is you can go and get something to put slavery collars on enemies. Where are they fleeing from? I want to speak to you. Oh, they have the collars on, see? Oh, guess what? We got a leveler. I'm not sure quite which way I want to take this. I could do with finding out the science bobbleheaders. Because we may as well take this to 90, and then we can get that bobblehead. I think our repair's in a good position. So let's boost small guns and then repair, I think. We're starting to get some of the more interesting ones here as well. Let's grab toughness. That seems like a decent perk for us. We're often in the middle of firefights, and like cover's not super essential in this game. It just kind of feels like it's a, you know, face off against each other and just shoot each other as much as possible sort of game, more than it is a tactical game. It was something I was just thinking about a second ago, actually. The game doesn't really have much in the way of combat, and I think that's the same for a lot of Bethesda games. Like, this doesn't feel massively different to Morrowind, which I'm currently playing. And like, the improvements are there, the improvements are obvious, but it doesn't feel like leaps and bounds, and that might just be like, I think that might be a revisionist point of view. You know, this might be me looking back in the past and seeing the connection. I mean, God knows what caused that. Yeah, that might be me like looking at the connections between the two games and being like, actually, there's not as greater difference between them as I initially thought. But like, I think at the time the differences are huge, but like for what you are doing in the moment to moment in the game, actually I don't think it changes too much. And I'd be really interested because I think that's something that's always been leveled against these games. Sort of some of the combat stuff and such isn't that great. I thought that'd be enough to heal me some more, but we'll take it. But like, that's something I think they truly aim to try and solve in Fallout 4. Now, whether they did that successfully, I don't think so particularly. Is that a bit of, yeah, it's a bit of Raider, I presume, from up there. But that could be my memory misremembering. It's been, that game came out like 5 years ago or something horrific now. I think it's one of the first games I got on my PC. Yeah, this game definitely... 1 second. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Oh, I have to change the thing. Yeah, this game definitely has a foot a lot more in the... I think that one of the failures I was just thinking, or one of the differences between this and the Elder Scrolls, is actually the world is less cohesive. I think the thing that you get kind of from doing... Oh, that's a Yargle. Oh no, this is bad. I don't know if we can do this. Is it Yargle? Yaogwai. I bet that's some horribly translated terminology now I think about it. What's this fight going on over here? I might be able to use this to my advantage. Nope. This could be harder. I remember these being harder. Oh, he's doing a lot of damage. Yeah, we died. That was just some like weird, like took a while or longer to than I thought for guns to come out and such. But yes, this game. Let's just go around, eh? let's not like take that on. I think because like a fantasy setting kind of demands a cohesive whole, and that's like part of the Bethesda game type. Like the Fallout's not a Bethesda setting, is it? It's a setting from a previous game company that the Bethesda got the property rights to, and I think that leads. I don't know if it's okay. I don't know if it's due to. I think I can repair this actually. Let's have a quick look. Weapons and then silence pistol. Repair it with that. That's good. Yeah, so we were talking about the post-apocalyptic thing of like disparate entities spread across a world, and that's how you get your different stories. And I think you definitely do get that in fantasy, but fantasy I think comes together with some core tenets that binds it all. Whereas I feel like the core tenets are less binding in this game. So what do I mean by that? Because that's like kind of vague. So like magic, there's towns, there's quests, there's just a aesthetic style, and aesthetics I mean by looks and sort of a style to the storytelling that's like binding. And I don't know if this is just all because I've just done the Vance quest and feel a bit put out by it. It's okay, but it feels like they're trying to tell a story that's not necessarily well suited to this world or to this game type. And I think that might partially be... We can get one of those as a follower, I think. That might partially be because these types of games don't necessarily do a great job of telling some of these stories. You don't sit in them. This isn't... quests in Fallout and Oblivion even aren't hour-long affairs. They're not something you sit and feel and like deal with for a long period of time. They are definitely a lot more in the camp of something you get done in 20 minutes to half an hour or so.
Tell Tenpenny he can kiss my ass. We've got plenty of bottle caps. Let me in, goddammit.
How many times do we have to go through this? You're not getting in.
I can stand here all day yelling at you through this damn speaker if I have to.
I've already told you Tenpenny won't allow zombies to live here.
Who the hell are you calling a zombie?
You're definitely not human, that's for damn sure. For the last time, no zombies allowed.
Can't you tell the difference between me and a feral? Fine, I'll show you the goddamn difference. Just you wait. You'll get yours, all of you.
This whole have a fantasy or fictional people that are meant to push against normative boundaries to try and portray racism. And I'm not saying there are normative boundary differences between races. What I'm saying is they are purposely created. They're purposely created in games to be different, and therefore sit back and go, right, we're going to tell a story of difference, one that is centered around race and peoples. I don't know. I find it rarely lands anymore. I think it's just because it's been done to death. Instead of actually telling stories about real people, we always get the elves are downtrodden or the ghouls are downtrodden, and actually they just give you something that's easy to be sympathetic towards. But then racism just doesn't exist in this world, and if it did, it would be really hard to do. I'm not sure they could do it successfully. It's not a story I would have the capability to tackle, that's for sure. I just think these weak sort of tonal choices, I don't know. I can't even fault this game too much for it. It's just something that's been done to death now. Perhaps there's a long history of this, but this is around the era that I probably came familiar with it, and now, what are we, probably 15 years on from this game, something like that? 10?
Get the hell out of here. Tenpenny doesn't want your goddamn caps, and I don't want the goddamn headache. For the last time, get your rotten, ugly, goddamn ghoul ass off Mr. Tenpenny's private property.
Putting it as the rich, well-to-do tower that's sort of a bastion of security and proper people in the middle of here, and have it so that they're going against, essentially no blacks allowed or something like that as a story thing. It's the trappings of one of those stories, but the problem with it is I can just go and kill all the ghouls as part of the quest now. What does that actually say? At least the game says you're a bad person. I don't know. I this is something that I've not quite fully worked through. It's just something I notice games do. And that's it. And I think that's the whole of this game. It's not a great exploration of theme so far. I'm enjoying being in the world though, and just trotting around and seeing all these different things. So let's continue. Is that how you treat all your guests?
What? No, just those damn ghouls. Sorry, thought you were one of them. Ghoul or not, I must inform you that you are trespassing on Alistair Tenpenny's private property. Renders an official business only.
Do we actually even want to go in? I'm here to see Tenpenny.
That's rich. What would a man like Tenpenny want to do with a waste rat like you?
I have a lucrative offer for Tenpenny. Let me in or you'll come to regret it.
Listen up good. I'm running the show here, not you. Now get the hell out of here.
Just let me in already. Oh, come on, let me in, pretty please. I don't want to give the money right now, but we might need to in a minute anyway, so there's your 100 caps.
Maybe you'll fit in around here better than I thought. All right. I'll
So,
take your money.
first things first, what we've got.
I got my eye on you. And don't bother Tenpenny or the other residents. If you so much as sneeze in the wrong direction, I'll gut you.
So the first thing we've learnt about these people, what they care about is money.
Welcome to Tenpenny Tower. Don't do anything stupid.
Okay. He sells firearms, doesn't
This
he?
better be important.
How's that ghoul situation coming along?
That damn Roy Phillips won't take no for an answer. Keep showing up, looking for a handout. Heinous kind aren't wanted. End of story. If I were a betting man, I'd place a stack of caps on him trying something violent soon. And that would make Tenpenny nervous. I don't like it when Tenpenny gets nervous. But I can't spare the manpower to go hunt down Roy Phillips and his band of misfits, or I'd gladly end this thing once and for all.
So he said they wanted handouts, and that's not true because he was offering caps as soon as he got here. It's not about money, is it? Have you ever tried talking to the ghouls? I bet you can work something out.
Tenpenny doesn't care how big their pile of bottle caps is. He won't let ghouls live here. Those ghouls need to give up and go bother someone else.
You're all bigots.
Your bleeding heart is liable to get you in a lot of trouble one day. Look, kid, eventually all ghouls go zombie on your ass. It's only a matter of time. Kill them when you find them. It's a win-win. You put them out of their misery and save someone else from getting torn apart.
God, this whole ghoul thing's a lot to pick through. You got an armament supply? Want to do some trade?
I guess we could do a little trading. Here's what I got.
I'm going to come and kill you all soon anyway. It's decided. Yeah, like the suggestion that ghouls go feral at a certain point in their life and it's like guaranteed, it's not great. The reason I sort of stutter with these things, and I'd rather just be blunt and honest, is my knowledge of the history of it is only sort of in passing, and so I don't have a good connection to all of the long-standing things that could be associated with sort of race and racism. And I think, you know, the state of England has a different connection with these things as well, and this is like clearly an American game. What does our hunting rifle use? 32. So we'll buy you 32. Buy you 5.56. We'll buy you 10 mil. Hell with it. We'll just spend all our money. It is worth it. So should we go and talk to some of these horrific residents? So they have a small barracks of militia out the front here, which is slightly understandable. So this is going to be a pastiche of the rich life then. We've had a pastiche of weird underground vampires, and now it's one for the rich life. I think I was wowed by this when I first played this game, you know. I chose to live here over Megaton. I kind of want to explore and see what's around. I know what's down there. But yeah, I chose to live here because it was like clean and pretty and glamorous, and that's like enough in the wasteland.
Well, well, what have we here? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Susan Lancaster. Perhaps we can become better.
This is like the third woman who's been like
in the near future.
hinting and sexualized. You bet. I like meeting new people.
Me too. Especially rich, fine young men. Listen, you look like you can handle yourself. You survived out there in the wasteland getting here after all. You ever have to deal with ghouls?
Ghouls aren't so bad once you get to know them.
Fine. Never mind. I thought you were a real man. Turns out you're just a scared little boy.
These ghouls sure have people worked up, don't they?
Are you going to do something about the problem?
Say nothing.
You're a bit of a loser.
Okay.
Hello?
Tenpenny Tower, Tenpenny Tower. I want to kind of talk to everyone and get an idea of this. Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, people's connection to what it is to live rich and lavishly is going to be disconnected from our connection to it in this world because of, you know, you're not going to have regular contact with rich people.
I'm Margaret Primrose. I run the Cafe Beau Monde. Stop by sometime.
These ghouls have you stressed out too?
Chief Gustavo assures us that he's increased the number of the security team and will kill any zombies on sight.
I don't want to offer to do anything. I wonder if ghouls will like your cooking.
I hope I don't have to find out, though. Everyone loves my cooking. I think I'll take a moment for myself and eat a little something.
Hi, Doc.
I'm off duty. Come back when... what the hell? Let's just get it over with. I'm Dr. Banfield. What do you need?
I'm hurt. I need help. Yeah, we'll pay you 50 caps for that. It's not too bad. Just inject something into me over the dinner table. It's the way I like to get all my healthcare.
All better now.
Know much about these ghouls?
My current theory is that the destructive disease of the ghoul condition will always eventually render him little more than a mindless killer. The proverbial wasteland zombie with a predilection for raw human flesh. They can't be cured. And there's nothing to alleviate the symptoms. All in all, it seems rather sad, really.
I don't suppose you've consulted any ghouls on your little theory.
Well, not exactly. But my colleagues have published papers. I suppose someone ought to verify their findings. Perhaps I'll do that. Who knows? I might even finally get published.
Who's publishing papers in this world? Do you know what? Do you know what's actually happening? Everyone is living a satire or a perspective on a life that just doesn't exist. They're living something that they've read in books. You know, we've got the rich people pretending to be rich. We've got the vampires who happen to read like fucking... Oh, sorry. It's Fallout. It's 18. I can't help it sometimes. Happen to read, you know, Twilight and like base their whole life on that. And so it's like all of these little pastiches of different connections of society. And I think there's interesting things that are happening with that, but at the same time, that's what makes it all feel so disconnected from each other.
Welcome to Boutique.
I'm figuring out things.
I'm Lydia Montenegro, proprietor. Here you'll find only the best, with a price tag you can boast about to your friends.
Nice place you have here.
Your taste in shopping venue is impeccable. How may I assist you?
Are you afraid of the ghouls?
If they got in here, they'd get their filth over everything. You can smell them a mile away. I hope they come back and get killed by security.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Tell me about Alistair Tenpenny.
He stays in his penthouse suite most of the time. So long as we pay the rent, he lets us live here.
We don't have anything else to sell, do we? So let's go.
For a little bite of something delicious.
Let's go. Who's at the door? Is this Chief?
Bye.
Yeah, Gustavo, Tenpenny resident. I've got, like, it's weird actually. Like saying Federalist Lounge, saying all this stuff about this. I actually am super interested in what's going on here. You know. Hi, Ling.
Welcome to new urban apparel. I carry the finest in pre-war clothes. Hurry up, let's get you out of those old rags and into something fabulous.
You got a problem with the way I dress?
Fine. Keep wearing that trashy outfit. I don't care. You probably couldn't afford to upgrade your look anyway. I could have made you fabulous.
That's the other thing. You never have a developing relationship with these people. You have one snippet into a relationship, and any other building you do is in your head. You know, I'm going to talk to this guy. So say I live in Tenpenny Tower. I could potentially talk to Anthony Ling 20 times. Or maybe Chief Gustavo 20 times. Each time just to buy some new ammo, sell some stuff, and then move on. Moira, you know. We can chat to these people all these different times, but there is a limit to the new things they're going to say. So you only ever get a snapshot of the relationship that you're actually going to have with these people. And any of the other building of that you have to do in your own head. Are you worried about these ghouls?
They were told they can't live here, but those zombies are too stupid to understand. They live in their own filth, squatting in the nearby metro tunnel. Security keeps shooting them, but they keep coming back.
It's only a matter of time.
I suppose it is, isn't it?
Tell me about Alistair Tenpenny.
A very well-dressed gentleman when he bothers to get dressed. He hardly ever leaves his penthouse suite.
I have to go. Yeah, everyone's playing pretend, aren't they?
Hey,
I wonder if there's any value in what you can actually do that with a storytelling device, though.
I'm Michael Hawthorne. Who are you? And more importantly, should I care?
Mate, you look like an off-brand Kurt Cobain. Say nothing.
I'm glad to meet someone who doesn't want to talk my ear off. We should get a drink together. I hate when people talk while I'm drinking. Don't you? And there's plenty to drink about, talk about, isn't there? Everyone's always
This definitely has the vibe of every town has one problem.
I'm getting fed up with all this ghoul talk. How about you? You know much about ghouls?
I know enough about ghouls not to hate them.
Oh, I see. Well, I've never met one, so I wouldn't know. I just always thought. I guess I really don't know what I thought.
Ah, take that. I beat you with my words. What's it like living here?
Well, it's a great place.
Oh, go back to the ghouls, why don't you? Yeah, it's a classic thing, isn't it, in RPGs? You go to a town or a city or a place, and every single person just has this one problem. Oh, this is the guy from the radio plays.
Herbert Dashwood. Damn glad to meet you. Call me Daring. Everyone else does.
Daring. I bet you have to earn that nickname, huh?
Maybe you've heard the GNR radio play? The Adventures of Herbert Daring Dashwood? That's about me, you know. Based on my, earlier days. I even had a ghoul manservant. Let me ask you, you ever met a ghoul before?
Sure, I've met some ghouls. They're just people trying to get by.
Ah, you've already learned some wisdom in your youth. Congratulations.
You mentioned something about GNR?
Haven't you ever heard the radio play? He did it in the style of those shows they had before the war. Came out pretty well. And it's all true. Rockopolis, Miss Chase, all of it. Of course, they do portray me as a bit of a chump. Argyle may have saved my hide more than once, but I had my moments. Ah, those were the days.
Tell me about Argyle.
Argyle was my manservant. Ah, but that's really just a fancy word for the guy who
Yeah, I
saved
bet
my
you
sorry
saw the
skin on a
relationship like
regular
that. I
basis.
don't know if he did.
He was a ghoul, you see. Been around since before the war. We met when I stole his girlfriend back in '41. We'd been best friends ever since. We got separated a long time ago and never reunited. If you find Argyle out there somewhere, you be sure and tell me, okay?
What's it like living here?
Well, until recently, the only danger you ever faced in this fine establishment was bumping into all the bloated egos floating around. But now there's a group of ghouls nearby. I've tried explaining that they don't all want to eat you, though some do, of course. Problem is, it's hard to tell which is which. Chief Gustavo has initiated a shoot first and ask later policy. If they're smart, they'll stay away.
I bet you know a thing or two about these ghouls.
Some ghouls moved into the nearby metro tunnel. I've tried to...
Yeah. Sure, whatever you say. Okay, right. Now we've explored the downstairs of Tenpenny Tower. That's going to be it for today. We're going to take a seat here. I wouldn't let me in here. God, look at me. How do I get the camera to zoom out? There we go. Thank you for watching. My name's been Billy. There's going to be back up to weekly videos now on this. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Now I've caught back up. It shouldn't be too hard to produce once a week. There's also going to be more Morrowind tomorrow, and then I've got another series coming up on some other bits and bobs, but I need to finish some games first, and I'm getting wholly distracted on a load of other things, so that might be the route through it until I have a week off soon. So if you could like the video to support me, that'd be really, really good. What are your thoughts on post-apocalyptic fiction and the way it sort of does segmented societies. You know, your classic Metros, your Fallouts, things like that. If you've got any thoughts on it, drop a comment and subscribe if you want more of this sort of content. Right, anyway, I've already said my name, but I'll say it again. It's Billy. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.